Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's percolating. Good morning. Yeah. Good morning to the people on Facebook. Good morning to the people on IG. Good morning to the people on the YouTube. Good morning to the people on LinkedIn and Twitter too. Java. Percolating. Get a vibe, stay ready. Truth in the cup, keep it strong, keep it steady. Pull up a chair, yeah. Take a sip with me. Good morning, good people. Java with Jimmy. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, the love percolating. Java with Jimmy. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good morning. Yeah, the love percolating. Yeah, Java with Jimmy. Good morning. Percolating. Yeah, we in it. Yeah, we in it. Good morning. Good morning. Java with Jimmy. Percolating. Yeah, we in it. Yeah, we in it. Good morning. Good morning. Java with Jimmy.
Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is, hold on, let me get these. There we go. Had to get the headphones together. Today is Wednesday, October. Today is Wednesday. Jesus, March 4th, 2026. I don't know what the heck just happened there, but just turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, something great is coming in October. I don't know where that came from, but listen, it is We Need to Know Wednesday, and we need to know that we are in the middle of, basically in the middle of tax season, a little past the middle. And as we've done for the past few years, we've had the opportunity to speak to an anchor organization in our community that holds our community up in so many ways, from beginning of Head Start to being teens with summer employment, to working with our elderly, to making sure that people are aware of health services, in some cases on a 24/7 basis. Shout out and plug for our kiosk at a few centers, ABCD family resource centers, with heating assistance. And also, as we're going to talk today about tax prep. And so I'm honored for a few minutes. She's very busy, but she finds it very a priority and very important to come and chat with us very briefly about the tax prep and any other services or things that Sharon Scott-Chandler, who is the CEO and good friend and becoming one of this platform's longest, most cherished partners, ABCD. And so I would like to bring her into the Java Cafe. She is not a stranger, so please welcome her in the comments. Sharon, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm very good this morning. The sun's out a little bit.
It's a heat wave.
It's going to be a heat wave, like you said. So yeah,
it's over 45 degrees today. I'm like, wow.
Yes. But thank you for those kind words, and as you, the same goes for you, which is you've been a really incredible partner for us doing this work, helping communities, helping people. To help themselves really do what they do best, which is try to provide for their families and keep a roof over their heads and food on the table. So thank you for allowing us to share space in this platform.
There wouldn't be anything to share if you all were not doing the work. And I just want to shout out, he popped on the good counselor Henry Santana over on Instagram, and I'm sure he shares the support for ABCD as well, and was probably a Summer Works kid as well. And so, Sharon, before we go into the taxes, you do, in a macro capacity, have the ability just to level set sort of where we are and what ABCD's commitment is to just supporting families to, despite external factors. They have some influence on your resources, but can you just reiterate for us, just where things are and where ABCD is in being committed to still supporting these families?
Yeah, thank you for that opportunity. I mean, as you said, these are tough times, tougher than we've seen in a long time, right? I mean, and whether it is the cost of living, whether it's housing and instability in housing because of the prices, just a whole host of pressures that are facing our community and families every day. And so we are here, as you said, James, we are here with many programs to help, whether that is the fuel assistance program, helping people to pay their fuel bills and their energy bills, but also with things like our workforce development, our New Mass Higher Career Center in Nubian Square. There are many programs, our early childhood education program, Head Start, Summer Works, these programs that have been around for a long time. They've evolved with time, they've evolved with the needs of the community, but they are still so fundamental and foundational to helping people get ahead and get out of poverty and to try to fight their way into what we call the middle class. So these programs we're happy to run. As you said, it is difficult times in terms of the federal budget, which much of our funding and much of the programs come from. It's very uncertain. These are very uncertain times. But we have wonderful supporters, not only community folks like you, but our folks in Congress, our governor, our lieutenant governor, our state house, our representatives, our mayor. We couldn't be in a better place, honestly, to be in Boston and to be in Massachusetts. We are in the best environment that we could be in, but it is still an uphill battle, and we continue to just do the work that we do with you and others.
Very much so, Sharon. If I can ask you before we let you go, and before introducing Bianny, who is going to become a vet soon in the Java Cafe. When you were here, I think a couple of years ago, one of the things that you level set for us, when you talked about those, of course, that are below or at the poverty line, there's a presumption that, they will take advantage of the services. But one of the things that you highlighted was that even for some of our folks that are considered middle class, that have, two incomes in the home and things like that, can you just reiterate the importance of not feeling ashamed and taking advantage of the opportunities that ABCD and others offer in these particular times? Because we know when people are struggling, it lends to their mental health, which lends to their health. And so I thought it was important, before we bring Bianny on, just for you to level set for folks that it's okay to be in a time of need sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I probably couldn't have said it better than you, but we are in really incredible times. But even in not incredible times, the programs that we offer are for a broad range of incomes. And so you said it, especially we talk about our fuel assistance program. There are seniors who own their homes, but they're on a fixed income, and they think, gee, somebody else needs it more. Our seniors, our wise seniors are always willing to give to someone else. But we encourage them day in and day out, please take advantage of the help that we have. Every little bit counts. You have medication, you have food, rent, and a fixed income. But also working families, as you said, two-parent or two-family incomes, two household incomes. And, they're just rubbing together two nickels and trying to stretch the dollar. And some of the programs that we have can help. So no one should feel any shame in their game. Many of us, you're a Summer Works student, I'm a Summer Works person. We all took advantage of these programs, and we wouldn't be here today if we didn't. So yeah, just encourage everyone to find out about the programs that we operate. They're really all about economic mobility, no matter where you are on that spectrum. So yeah, please reach out, learn about the programs, ask us for help. And we're in every neighborhood. You always say it, we're all across, we're really neighborhood based. Our model since we started in 1962 has been to be in the neighborhoods. A center in every neighborhood that people can go to for Head Start, can go to for housing help, can go to for job help, can go to for fuel, and all of those things. So we're your neighbors, and like you, we all need help. So I would encourage everyone.
Sharon, thank you so much for that. I just thought it was important to make sure that people know that there's nothing to be ashamed of when you're in time of need. One of the services that you offer, and we've been dedicated even before this partnership, 2 areas that Jamie makes sure that we cover per year since 2020 is LIHEAP and tax relief. And so if you could tell us a little bit about that. I know it's a part of a partnership. The city's a part of it and some other partners. And then we'll bring Bianny on and then let you get to ensuring that everything that ABCD is doing is well shepherded. So talk to us about the tax prep partnership, and then we'll get ready to bring Bianny on.
Yes, and I'm sorry that I won't get to join Bianny, but as you know, she is the best, our director in Mattapan. So as you mentioned, the VITA or the ITC coalition in Boston is called the Boston Tax Help Coalition, and ABCD was one of the original founders with the city of Boston. And so we continue to partner with the city and many other organizations across the city to deliver this free tax preparation program. And it's been incredible. It's been around over 2 decades, bringing back millions and millions of dollars into our communities and into people's pockets. So folks, Bianny will tell you more of the details about how much people can be eligible for, what the income level is. Again, going back to your point about a wide range of income, it's up to, I think in Boston, almost $70,000. So, that's significant, and people are paying a few $100s, which every dollar counts, to get those taxes prepared. So they can come to our sites, they can come to other sites across the city. This program, it starts at the federal level. It is the VITA program is a federal tax program, and the Congress calls it one of the best anti-poverty programs. And they say that because it puts money back into people's pockets. Sometimes $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, which can really help families who, maybe they may be in arrearage for rent. They may have high utility bills that they need to pay off. So again, being able to put this money back in our communities and back into their pockets is an incredible opportunity for us. So, and as you said, I won't get off without making my pitch for fuel assistance. We are still taking applications. People are challenged right now. A lot of people are coming up or have already exhausted their benefits. We are doing an effort up at the State House to get some more money for those who have exhausted, but we also have money for people who have not applied yet. So we are really, really encouraging people through April to apply to fuel assistance. Just, call our numbers and the website and all of that. Bianny can even mention that as well.
I want to make sure that folks know that actively and I'm going to do it right now before y'all get me, I'm putting it in the comments. There are a couple of links in there that you can go to directly. One, to get the general information about ABCD, but then also I just put the fuel assistance in just because, and Sharon, you say this often, just because, it's warming up and we're not in December and January, you still need to apply. And even though things are interesting, that's been a message since a lot of things changing. I believe last year that you and Jamie were saying that people still need to apply. And so I just want to.
Absolutely. I cannot emphasize that enough. One, if you've never applied, please apply, please call us, see if you're eligible. There's a broad range of eligibility for fuel. Even $600 can help, even $1,000 can help the season. It doesn't always cover the whole season, especially this one, which has been incredibly cold and snowy, but it does help. So yes, please call us.
Speaking of help, I want to make sure that we get ready to introduce one of your more popular staff members over there at ABCD. Look, let me look in the comments and see. Okay, we're good. So Sharon, can you tell us about Bianny's work? And just, she is someone that definitely, I learned last year, that knows a lot, and it's very federal language, but she had the ability to make it very plain. So tell us about why or where folks. Bianny's going to tell us more. Just introduce Bianny. And
I will. And you said, Bianny is one of our stars. She's been at ABCD, oh gosh, at least a decade. I think more. She can tell you more, and in various roles. But she has been the director in our Mattapan Family Service Center for a number of years, just serving the community in an incredible way. She'll talk about taxes today, but she knows all, and all of the services that we offer at ABCD are run at her Mattapan Family Service Center. So you've got an expert on your hands, on the ground, and I'll turn it over to Bianny.
I am so glad, Sharon, you had a few minutes to spend some time with us. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you for the opportunity to be in community as we celebrated Black History Month last week. And I'm sure that we'll be in touch soon.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Bianny, how are you? We're going to get your, do me a favor, make sure your mic is on. I think we got you. Nope. Oh boy. Nope. Do me a favor. Let's do the old school thing. Log off and then log back in. I got you covered. Bianny's going to come right back with us in a couple of seconds to share some information about tax prep. But I wanted to make sure that we invite people to share this information. There is so many opportunities to take advantage of what ABCD offers in the community. And so let's see if we get Bianny back. And I think we may be good. We got you. Oh, we can see you, but it's giving us a little bit of something. So what I'll do is I'll keep talking until I hear you. And then if we can get it, because I know you're technically inclined, if we get it worked out somewhere in the settings, I don't know, audio, or I don't know, but we will definitely make sure that we get this information out to community. But while Bianny is trying to work on that, I wanted to make sure that the information is coming while I'm getting you ready to share it. But please make sure that folks understand that this information is available. There are some requirements that Bianny will be going over as far as your income. And as Sharon said, these services are offered in the Mattapan area at the Resource Center, but we will also go over what you need and what will be the best process for you to get the assistance, so you're not going back and forth 3 or 4 times. And so we will be sure to review that information. If we cannot get Bianny, then I will be on their website doing it freestyle. But, you know, these things happen with tech and whatnot, and I can see she's in the background trying to work it out. But we appreciate your patience. Let's go in while we're waiting and just say hi to some folks that are in the Java Cafe. So far this morning, Mama Java is in the room. Good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Milagro, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room this morning. Also, good morning to Tehran. Good to see you in the room, brother. And also Sister Debbie, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. And I believe we got Bianny back. And so we're going to go ahead and get started to make sure that you have this information. Again, do me a favor, hit that like and share button and invite others into the Java Cafe so they can get this information about tax prep.
Good morning.
Bianny,
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we got you back. And listen, shout out to you, because I have to do that sometimes in the midst. Figure it out and make it work. And so for me, it's important that folks hear the information. And so thank you for your flexibility and working with tech there. And so how have you been? Can you believe it's been a whole year? It's been a whole year.
A whole year.
How much has changed? Is it a lot of changes? And we'll go into it, but that's just the first thing that came to my head.
Not a lot of changes.
Okay.
Running this smoothly and the same. Definitely operating the programs again and just happy to be here.
Absolutely. So let's talk tax prep. What is it? What it is not? And let's talk about some of the requirements, some of the paperwork. One of the things that you shared with us is, trying to make sure you go in with everything. And so we'll go over that. And so let's just go right in. What is this opportunity the community has if they come into the center to get their tax assistance?
Yes, so we prepare taxes, the whole return, federal and state, for free for folks who are eligible. We do have some income guidelines, so we see folks who make 69,000 or less and that live in Boston, and then we're able to prepare the return again for free, making sure that they have access to all the credits that are eligible to them.
And then I just want to reiterate, 69,000 is really, that's nothing to sneeze at. That's a pretty, I believe, high threshold for people to take advantage of the services. And so when you say that you complete the whole return, what is involved there before we go into the requirements? Is it restricted to 1040, easy, or PC now? And like when you say get them through the process, just a little bit about what that includes.
Yeah, so it's a 1040 that they would have to submit over to, the federal, and then the state form, which is a MA Form 1. So we will gather the information from the taxpayer and then prepare the return and submit it electronically so that the client doesn't have to do anything other than just come to our office and provide us with documents.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. Now let's talk about, we understood 69,000 and below is the threshold for your income. And you shared with us last year that, well, tell us what makes the potential of just one trip to your office, and also in these times, and I know it's taxes and wet signatures, but what's required, and then can people use an electronic portal with ABCD tax help?
So our services are in person. We also offer drop-off. We don't have access to electronic for documents because we have to see a lot of things in person. But the process can be daunting, and we try to make sure that it's less trips back and forth. You come to our office once in person, bring us your IDs, socials, tax documents. We sit down, have a conversation, figure out what your, tax situation was for 2025. And then right then and there, we're preparing the return. We're asking you questions along the way, making sure that we're capturing everything accurately and as best as possible. And once we get your signature, we go ahead and submit.
And so so would that technically be 2 visits? They have, when it's done, they have to come back and sign, and then you send them off electronically?
So it depends. So if it's in person, everything is done within that hour time frame, the whole process.
The prep, not just the drop off, and you got to. Okay.
If it's a drop off, if the client prefers a drop off, then we will offer 2 appointments. The drop off, the initial drop off appointment to talk about, the documents, the intake, and then the following up, a second appointment would be to do a final review and have the taxpayer sign. So it really depends on preference, but the majority of our preparation is done in person in an hour block, and the whole process is done then.
How did I miss that last year? That you can. I thought it was all drop off. They prepare it and they call you to come back. So you're basically saying that you can, if you have the time, which you should allot the time, you can get it done right then and there, as long as you have all your paperwork. So let's reiterate paperwork. A state issued or federally issued ID, all of your W-2s.
Yes, and 1099 form. So for income purposes, your social security card, which is important as well.
Okay, and if you have dependents, you want to have what? Their social security cards?
Their social security cards as well.
Okay.
For dependents.
Do you need proof of that? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Proof of health insurance, because we do have to document health insurance for the year. Now, it gets a little more specific. If there's dependents, if there was childcare, then we would want those expenses. If the person was a student or they have a student in the household, we would want the school's information. We do need bank deposit information for the refund to get to securely to your bank account, to the individual's bank account, and any other any other expenses that the client thinks might be beneficial. We tell them just to bring it in, and we will let them know if it can be included or not.
Okay. I want to make sure that folks know, while it's showing on here, it's a little bit long, but we do have a longer, shorter link. If you go to jwj.info/ABCD tax help, if you just remember that, on that site, you can get all of the documents needed and the things required. One other question, Bianny, is it walk-in? Should people try to schedule an appointment? Is it a phone number? How does it work for people to be in queue to get their assistance?
That's a good question. So it is available by phone. You can call us and we can do a pre-screening. We are available in almost all the neighborhoods of Boston, but give us a call at 617-348-6239. And we do a pre-screening over the phone. We let you know what documents you need, and we schedule that appointment then and there.
Okay. So you prefer folks just not walk in because you're working with others and getting them done, and they don't have to wait. They would have to wait. And then you said for a pre-screening, I would say maybe is suggested if you're not a sort of maybe single person with no dependents, and you got it would be presumed an easy 10, no pun intended, 1040 easy. But if you have children, if you have questions, if you're paying off a student loan, if you have healthcare expenses, like if people have those accounts pre-tax, I presume that would be anything that you think you may want to ask a question about. Would you suggest that they call to do the pre-screening? That way they know when they set that appointment, they could potentially walk out with their taxes done.
Yes. So we do pre-screenings on everybody just because we want to get a sense of what the situation is. It's really quick. We try for not to be too long. It's just a quick, what's your income? Do you live in Boston? And then what type of documents you have. And then we go through those questions and book the appointment.
Okay.
The more intense conversation will be when the client comes in for their appointment.
Okay. And they should allot, I know you said an hour, just because, sometimes I know that when, things don't always go to a perfect time in science. So would you say, how long should people really set aside so they're not rushing, they're at ease, not rushing their, preparer? Should they set more than an hour aside to be there?
The appointment is for an hour, and we honor that. So the whole process does take time. If they want to come in 10-15 minutes early to prepare to fill out documentation, they're more than welcome to. But we do try to honor that 1 hour block.
Okay. And that sensitivity for your staff as well as the client as well. And so, Bianny, I appreciate you. I'm not going to hold you real long because I know you were working there with that laptop. Shout out to you. I see you in the background, making it happen. So not only taxes, but you're kind of techie as well. But seriously, thank you. And if at any point, not just this time of year, just let Jamie know if you want to come back, there's changes or anything else that you're doing at Mattapan, please let me know and we'll be glad to host you and have you back.
Will do. Thank you for having me. It's always nice to be here.
Yes. Thank you so much, hon. We'll talk soon.
All righty. Bye.
Folks, I hope you got the information, and shout out to Bianny. But I seen her in the background. She was pulling out that laptop and making it happen. So shout out to her. And also Sharon and Jamie and Lee and Jen and who else over at ABCD, Maureen, that are doing great work in our community, making sure that people take advantage of free services, scaled services, sometimes with the fuel assistance. And just for the folks that are in here, if you were an ABCD SummerWorks kid, just put a thumbs up either over on Instagram or in Facebook as well, as we get ready to wrap up this morning. Please remember, we won't be here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. However, we will be with WGBH for GBH Amplifies James Jimmy Hills, host of Java with Jimmy as well. That will take place tomorrow at 12:30 here live. I actually got to get them the link. I just saw an email pop up. That will take place at 12:30 p.m. live tomorrow. I have the honor. I'm switching sides of the desk and will be interviewed by Yarwool Miller, who is a notable, trailblazing, just awesome. He's a journalist. He's a journalist. He's going to interview me about more on the personal end of the Jimmy part of Java with Jimmy over the past 18 months or so. Just a lot of things, some I've shared here, but we're going to do a deep dive tomorrow just around the impact of maintaining this platform for in less than 2 weeks, 3 weeks. In less than 3 weeks will be 6 years of coming together in this space, sharing information and resources, mobilizing our community to take advantage of those resources, and also action to bring things more equitable for the most marginalized communities, which one of those biggest populations are Black folks. So with that being said, thank you all for being here this morning. We will see you tomorrow afternoon, everyone, tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 p.m. And also, please remember, next week on March 12th, we will have a Java After Dark speaking with a clinical psychologist about liberated Black history and a few other things pertaining to sort of where we are as a Black community with everything we're dealing with. So that's going to be on next Thursday at 8 p.m. And then right before that, before I let you go, next Tuesday, March 10th, is Girls and Women's HIV Awareness Day. We will be back with the Health Services Department of our partner, ABCD, and we're going to talk with a consumer. We're going to talk with a clinician, specifically around girls and women who are impacted by HIV. I remember some years ago, one of the largest populations that were being impacted by HIV were Black women. And so we're going to get an update about that, where things are. And we're going to talk about girls as well. And just also to mention that those that are dealing with HIV, it is not always contracted sexually. Some young people are born with it. Some people are dealing with substance use addiction and have, that addiction causes them to use needles. They've contracted it like that. So we're going to get a lot of information, but then also kind of specifically focus on girls and women. So that will be with our main partner at ABCD Health Services. So got a few things lined up for you. A few people have reached out about, what are you doing for anniversary this year? I really don't have that much planned. It's an off year. It's the 6th year. I said 6 is like the number of man. We're going to talk about a few things in my improvement in making sure this platform stays viable, sustainable. So if anything happens, we'll let you all know. We're definitely doing a pop-up show on March 24th. We'll have some guests coming in and just chat and go over some memories and things like that. So that's it for me. Thank you, Ms. Teresa. I will be sure to eat and drink. I'm doing better. Anniversary show with your 5 top guests. Oh, we'll be doing an inquiry about the you all's favorite show, and maybe doing a whole, I don't know, back-to-back, I don't know, Java with Jimmy marathon. I don't know. But anyway, we will be back on tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. And remember, you can only watch GBH Amplifies on my personal page, James W. Hills. You're watching on Java with Jimmy or Twitter or YouTube, on the website, or over on Instagram. You can only view the GBH Amplifies here on James W. Hills. All right. Thank you all so much. Auntie Lily Coop, good to see you. I don't know if that's a name we've seen in the Java Cafe before. So you all welcome her to the Java Cafe. And Michelle D. Smith said, keep it simple. Yes, I don't know if I'm doing it might be that simple. I might get a couple of my team folks together and just, I don't know. It's just, I'm good. It's just, we're definitely doing the Red Cup Awards. We're definitely doing that later on in the year, but thank you all for your input. We may do the favorite shows. I got to get it together. All right. So first of all, I got to catch up on some things with some of these vendors. So we'll talk to y'all tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Thank you for joining us and have a great day.